Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to our open house info session today. Let me first introduce to you Mrs. Johanna Wenske on this side, head of primary school. On the other side, Mr. Jens Eggert, head of the secondary school. And myself, I'm Christian Vogel. I'm the principal of the RIS Swiss section. You're seeing on the screen the program of today. We're starting with a presentation. Then we're having a school tour where you will follow some of our students. And at the end, you have the opportunity to ask us some questions. We have the Q&A session. Right. Why should you send your children to RIS Swiss section? We are the only German-speaking school in Bangkok offering a complete curriculum from preschool, that means from 18 months old children, to general university entrance qualification until the Swiss Matura. Our graduates have direct access to universities and the job market in the German-speaking countries like Germany, Austria, Switzerland. Our multilingual curriculum provides language skills and fosters an understanding of cultural values that prepares children for a global and local future, whether in Germany, German-speaking countries in general, Thailand, or elsewhere. What is our philosophy and vision? We are committed to the characteristic values of Switzerland, Germany, and Austria. Following the principles of the famous Swiss educator and pedagogue Heinrich Pestalozzi, which says, learning with head, hand, and heart. Our education is based on holistic teaching, multilingualism, diversity, individual development, and integration. In the spirit of inclusion, all our participants in our learning family are equally valued, encouraged, and challenged. Our students receive individual attention from outstanding teachers and are prepared for post-secondary educational institutions. Let me tell you a few facts and figures which you can see on the screen now. Our school is almost 60 years old. It was founded in 1963. We are a private school. We are non-profit and non-confessional school. And since 1983, we are a part of the Ruamradi International School, RIS. We are operated by the Swiss Educational Association. At the moment, we're having 275 students, from which 18% are Swiss, 39% German, 35% Thai, and 8% of other nationalities. Altogether, we have 50 teachers in our school. Let me say a few things about our school campus. It is located in eastern Bangkok, in the district of Minburi. It's about 30 minutes away from the airport. We're having a Mu-Ban here, that means a residential neighborhood called Perfect Place, with a large expat population and excellent infrastructure. But we also have a school bus service to the inner city, to the city center. On our campus, we have a boarding option for secondary school students, and we have a lot of sports facilities on the campus as well. On the next screen, you can see that we are accredited by many organizations and governments, like the ones in Switzerland, Germany, and Thailand. So let me go on then and explain to you the Swiss and German school system. We're having 4 years of preschool. As I said before, the nursery where children from the age of 18 months can start, it's called Lernzwerge. Then we're having 2 years of kindergarten and 1 basis level school year. Then at the age of 6, children enter grade 1 and will be at primary school for the next 6 years, from grade 1 to grade 6. Then they change to secondary school, and after 3 years, after grade 9, they can obtain the German Hauptschulabschluss or the Swiss Real- or Sekundarschulabschluss. 1 year later, after grade 10, they obtain the German Realschlussabschluss. And finally, after 2 more years, at the age of 17 or 18, after grade 12, they graduate as with the Swiss Matura. We are currently trying to get also the German Abitur, so that we might offer the Maturabi. But at the moment, it's still, we're not ready for that yet, but I hope we will be soon. We're going to explain to you now the different grades, different levels, and I hand over to Mrs. Wenske.
A warm welcome to our learning family. As Christian Vogel explained, your child can enter our nursery, Lernzwerge, from the age of 18 months onwards. There, an experienced early years teacher, native German speaker, will lead the small group in a playful, holistic, and joyful way. The children make their first friends and learn not only the language, but about their environment and interact socially with each other. Additionally, we offer afternoon play groups where parents can join with the children 1 or 2 times per week. From 3 years onwards, your child enters year 1 in our kindergarten. Understanding the world with all its exciting things, self-competence by doing as much by themselves, and selected age-appropriate topics like farm animals, friends, or yearly festivities build the basis in our kindergarten. Playfulness is at this age the key to happy learning, and we add a lot of creative assignments for motor skills and a holistic development. Again, small class sizes and dedicated native German teachers guide your child during these 2 years. After kindergarten follows our basis level as a solid foundation for the primary school and a smooth transition there. We lay emphasis on a good balance between academic and creative learning content, still not forgetting that the play is the child's main work at this age. This playful learning can be on many individually different levels, and we offer individualized learning paths for optimal learning. Whereas the English lessons for your children began already in kindergarten, Thai language lessons are introduced in basis level age for all students with the Thai nationality. In our primary school, we have the grades 1 to 6. Besides continuing to put a very strong emphasis on the languages in German and English, developing each student's full potential is most important for us. Our students all, of course, have their strengths, and we support the areas needing more development with special adjustments like German in 3 level groups. French lessons begin from year 6 onwards, so everybody has at least 3 languages in their learner profile. After school, we offer a variety of balanced afternoon activities like extra sports, coding, creative or musical classes, language enhancement, and so on, where you can choose from. Now I'd like to hand over to Jens Eggert, our secondary school principal.
Thank you, Johanna. Yes, let me introduce very shortly our secondary level from grade 7 to 10. In these classes, we offer the Deutschen Hauptschulabschluss after grade 9, the Deutschen Realschulabschluss after grade 10. The students will do an internship in grade 9 so that they get to know the professional world a little bit. We offer a wide variety of subjects, general education instead of early specialization. And we have a really very comprehensive support system in our school with self-organized learning, individualized learning, different level groups in German, English, math, and Thai.
Then I take over and we go on with grades 11 to 12. That means that are the 2 years before obtaining the Swiss Matura. This is a bilingual Matura. That means the students, they're having 6 subjects taught in English, and there can be chosen a focus on science or Spanish. That's one more language then. They're writing a maturity paper in grade 12. And we can say it's quite a broad, balanced, and holistic curriculum. As Mr. Eggert said before, until grade 10, it's more of a generalization, and in the Matura time, it's versus the specialization. The Matura is an internationally recognized diploma which grants direct access to 2 top universities in the German-speaking countries in Europe, Switzerland, Germany, and Austria. And it is an excellent preparation for an academic career. At this point, I would like to explain you also how our school is going to be extended. We're planning an extension, and we started at the moment. That means we're having a new building, we're having a new sports hall, we're having a new nursery. And all this will start now and should be, the end of the construction should be maybe already in 23, but I think this will be in 24 to be more sure. You're seeing 3 photos now. The first one is Mrs. Budliger-Artieda, Swiss ambassador, then Mr. Georg Schmidt, German ambassador, and Mrs. Dr. Eva Hager, the Austrian ambassador. We are in close contact to these 3 embassies, and we're working closely together. So let me resume. Why is our school a good school for your children? We've got the Swiss and the German curriculum. We're a multilingual school with 2 classroom languages and 5 languages taught. We have highly trained professional teachers, small classes, individualized teaching, and a learning environment. We are recognized by 2 governments, the one in Switzerland and Germany, and we are kind of a combination of a family-like atmosphere and excellent facilities. And last but not least, with the Matura, you are granted direct access to top universities. At this point, we're changing and we're following two of our students, Yasmin from grade 11 and Prin from grade 12, which will show you our school building. And we see each other again, maybe in a half hour for questions and answers. Well, see you then.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the RS Swiss section. My name is Jasmine and I'm in 11th grade.
My name is Prin and I'm in 12th grade.
Our school offers all levels from nursery to 12th grade, and we are currently 300 students.
On the first floor is where kindergarten and basis level takes place.
The second floor is for the library and for the primary school.
And all the way on the third floor is where secondary school takes place.
So now let's go to the kindergarten room.
Let's go.
Okay, so as you can see, we're now in the kindergarten room where children from the age 3 to 5 learn how to joyfully and playfully interact with other children their age. There are two kindergarten rooms. One is for children aged 3 to 4, and the other one is for children aged 4 to 5.
So one of the main focus of kindergarten is to educate students to emphasize strongly and independence learning skills. For example, every morning, the students will form a circle group and interact with each other, socialize with one another. Playful toys, which are made out of wood, very safe for students and also educational.
Yes, and here on the other corner of the room, you can see a castle where children love to play and hang out with their friends.
All right, now we are going to allow Ms. Claudia Bock to discuss further about life in kindergarten and basis level students.
Good afternoon and welcome once again to Basisstufe. My name is Claudia and I'm really happy to be your host for the next couple of minutes. As you see, today I picked another room of Basisstufe within our school. As you see, or compared with my other room, it has different areas for the children. For example, a crafting area, a play area. Upstairs, we have, at the moment, it's a reading area, but sometimes we change it into a construction area. So it always depends on the children's needs. And this is what we focus on, and then we will change it accordingly. But let us talk about Basisstufe first. Because we just changed a little bit of the Basisstufen model. As you know before, it was a mix between the last year of kindergarten and the first year of school. This has been separated, this has been changed. And it's a big advantage, especially for the smaller children, that we can focus on the development of their skills and get them really ready for a good and successful school start, which is very important for us. We can have them in small groups. They are all in a homogeneous age, and it's much more profitable for them to be within age-like children. And year 1 is separate, is as part of the primary school. They are separate. So as you see here, now we had the house. We have a special school area, but once again, in Basisstufe, we do not teach literacy and mathematics. What we do is we foster the skills to be prepared for learning this in year 1. This means we do like tracing things, motoric things. In mathematics, we talk about amounts and measuring things, but we are not doing numeracy and literacy. because this is the thing what we do in or start in year 1. Okay, nonetheless, we have our carpet for special occasions, for the morning circle, for singing songs, or if we want the children to focus on special topics provided by the teacher. Okay, as you see, we are still in the process of setting up this room because we just received some things, and as school is closed still, we're still in online business, and but we all hope to be back at school very, very soon. I think this will do today. So I would like you to stay tuned and go to the Woodwork Department, I think. If there were any questions concerning Basisstufe or the changes we just made, or the transfer into year 1, please do not hesitate to ask us. We are always there for all your questions, for your comments, for your criticism. We are very, very open and very thankful for everything we get from your side. So stay safe and have a good weekend. Thank you. And now we go to the woodwork.
Thank you very much, Ms. Claudia Bock.
We are now in the Woodworks Room. Our school's philosophy is based on learning with hands, heart, and head. To uphold the hand part, students here learn how to use different materials and a variety of tools. By doing so, the smaller students will learn how to uphold the hands-eye coordination.
During woodwork classes, we further practice perseverance and focus and learn project management skills, which will eventually help them further with the real-world experience. To ensure the safety of our students, every time the machines are in use, the teachers will closely monitor the students, and we also provide protective gears for the students, such as this goggles, to prevent wood from entering their eyes.
Okay, so next to the project, this is supposed to be a lamp project. There's supposed to be a lamp coming in here. And then, yeah, this is another project which is made by the children. It's a lamp and it's made out of cement.
That is it for the woodwork room. We will now go to room 309. And now, our 6th grade homeroom teacher, Mr. Hoyberger, will take over and explain to us the importance of technology inside the classroom. Let's go.
Hallo, Herr Hoyberger.
Hallo zusammen. Ja, willkommen. Welcome to this primary school classroom. My name is Pascal Hoyberger. I'm a 6th grade teacher, the last year of our primary. I'm 45 years old and I'm from Switzerland. I'm here in Thailand now for a good 4 years. When we're talking about Swiss and German curriculum, what does that mean for our school? Germany and Switzerland have a long education tradition, but for modern teaching, it's much more than that. Having the right information at the right moment, putting it together, having the right method is really, really important. That's what I do. You know, nowadays, all the knowledge is very, very close with the internet. Sometimes it's just a fingertip away. But we have good material to provide a lot of information. You see a selection of our books. But at the end, it's the methods that we use. Group settings, doing research, working independently, all these are important skills for students and for the future. But technology really helps us too. Technology gives us a new set of tools. We can bring the classroom, the outside world back here to classroom, and that's what I do too. Technology also helps to prepare and to visualize things. For example, the use of this smartboard. Here you see something I prepared beforehand. For example, this topic's about biology. I can mark anything. For the students, it's much easier to see what is important. I go on. For example, here in mathematics, I prepare beforehand, and I know what the answer is, and we can find out together, and I can just quickly show them the theory parts in a nice way. Back to mathematics, we have to work really, really precisely, yeah? And because neat thinking, clear thinking is also like understanding things much better. So over here, we make the calculation. I can show them that you have to work precisely, and the students, they do that too. Or over here, just sorting some things. The students, they can do that by themselves. They are so used to it as they're waking up, growing up with all these technology things they have, from the iPads, from the mobile phones. Like sorting here, all the different parts that belong together. It's totally interactive. As I said, the students, they do it by themselves. An important part of teaching is having not only solutions, but also prove it if something is like this. For example, this one, look at this. Are the lines straight? We have to prove it. I can do that too with this tool. Just move one over here. Oh, this line is completely straight. Let's check the other one. Straight too. It just tricked the eye. Or over here, this one we can do on paper, but the technology gives me just another tool, and the students, they can do it themselves. They can come forward and mark all the circles. Here we have 1/4 of 16, so it's very easy. They just select it, and everyone can see the answer is 4. In Switzerland and in Germany, we have a very long tradition of engineering. And in engineering, you have to work very precisely. I guess you all agree on this one. And with the students, we do that too. For example, over here, I can demonstrate what I mean with this when we're constructing something. Over here, for example, make this line very precisely from here to here. And then we're back to all the material we use. We have the technology, but we have all the material hands-on like this, the compass, the geodesic that we use, and then everything that comes together. As I said, technology is one tool of many that we use. Be it like in woodwork, where we make things like this with the hands, or working with metals, doing research. And this is everything together that we think is good teaching. So, and this is why I'm here, and this is what I'm doing every day with the students. Teaching is, by the way, also more than school. We really care about our students, and that's also what I'm standing for at RES Swiss Section, Deutschsprachige Schule Bangkok.
Thank you very much for the information. Now, back to the traditional way of learning, which is in the library. Our library is the second biggest German library in Thailand. Now, thanks to technology, not only do students have access to the books in this room, they also have access to online books, not only from Goethe Institute, but also the Swiss Library of Canton Lucerne.
Okay, so our library is very well equipped with picture books and novels, children's magazines and CDs from Germany, Switzerland, and Austria.
This one is a German classic. It's called Lucky Luke. And in each book, each comic book, at the end, there's always a life lesson, which is very ethical.
And these comics are really popular for kids. Yeah.
We also have DVDs and movies provided for students in, of course, German, to help them practice their language, because we believe that To learn a language, the kids have to surround themselves with that environment.
But if the kids want to read more English books, of course, there is the RS where they can borrow the books from. Yeah.
All right, now we're going to hand over the camera to Mr. Schumacher, who will explain to us a little bit about the secondary school life. Hello, Herr Schumacher.
Hello, Herr Schumacher.
Good to see you, because at the moment we can't see each other and we suffer because of that. It's a sad time because we cannot be with our students. But let me first introduce myself. My name is Hendrik Schumacher, and I'm teaching here now for 11 years, a long time. And I'm here for 11 years for a reason, because this is a good school. I really like to teach here. I like the community. It's a community school. It's a small school, but also we are, as you know, attached to a big school. So you have the advantage of a small school and the advantage of a big school. This is something really I really enjoy here. And 11 years I'm here. I'm teaching mainly in grade 7 to 10. German, history are my main subjects. I also teach economics. And this year also we have a new subject called Life 101. I will talk about that also later. Let me first talk about the crisis we are in. We are in this COVID-19 crisis, and as I said, we all suffer. Why? Because we cannot be together here. Yeah, and it would be sad if we would prefer to stay at home. And so we hope we're soon back here in school. But I'm also really, I can say I'm proud that we really managed this crisis in a really great way, because what we do is we follow our lesson plans, we follow our curriculum. Our students are writing all their exams, and we are really proud that our students in grade 10 and in grade 12, in their final years, in their final exams, they all could sit their exams in the embassies. They could finish their school careers in our school, which is really the main goal, and which is, of course, the main goal they are here in our secondary level. We prepare our students for life after school. This is what we do here, of course. And we try, of course, to do this with different things we focus on, and I will talk about a few. One, for example, is language. We are a school, we offer many languages. Of course, German is our main language. It's also our biggest struggle, yeah, because we have students, their mother language is not German. So we do all to support them. So, for example, in grade 7 and 8, we have extra lessons for them in the afternoon. We try to separate them for 1 or 2 years to really foster them on their level, because we know German is really essential, that all of them have a certain German level. But English is also really important in our school, and we can see every year in grade 8 when we do our tests where we compare ourselves with Germany, that, for example, in English, we are really far advanced. Our students are really, really excellent English speakers. And as you know, they move up to grade 12, and there they finish our school with a bilingual maturity. So they speak English and German fluently, you can say. And they can, of course, go to universities all over the world with these language skills. Additionally, they speak French, they speak Spanish, they speak also, of course, Thai. Or some of our students at least learns Thai. So language is really, really important here. And the next thing is, of course, that we want to prepare them for their professional careers after school. And I can talk about grade 9 because I'm running this program. We have an internship program. And this means in grade 9, and this means the students are really young, still young. They have to apply, and they have to apply here at companies in Bangkok. And then they have a 2-week internship program in these companies. And after the 2 weeks, they have to give a presentation. They have to produce a file, a folder, where they really show us everything they have done in these 2 weeks. So this is really, really a big step for them towards their professional careers, just as an example. Social skills, of course. Social intelligence is really important. And I hope that this school year, this means in 2022, we can go back to Khon Kaen. Khon Kaen, we have a partner school, And we go with our grade 7 students to Konkan, and there's a school with handicapped students, and our students are together with the students there for 1 full week or almost 1 full week, and work together with these students and learn from them. Yeah, it's all our students learn from these students, and they learn a lot about life when they work with handicapped students, and we have also students, and they become friends with these students in Konkan. So it's a great project, and this is also something that is important for us: social intelligence, social skills. Additionally to that, of course, the older our students get, the more we want them to be self-organized learners, independent learners, that they organize their learning process on their own. So we have as well self-oriented lessons in the afternoon, where our students work, for example, in German, independently on their own tasks, but there is always a German teacher or a maths teacher who can support and help them. So support, yeah, but we of course want them more and more to decide what is important for me, what should I now focus on. Another thing we want them to do, or what they can do is that they can choose subjects, elective subjects. And this year, our students could even show us their ideas. What subjects would you like? So, for example, some students talked to me and said, we would like to have 2 lessons per week where we learn things about life that we don't learn about in maths or in other subjects. For example, if I go to Germany or Switzerland, how can I find an apartment? What do I have to do to register myself? What kind of insurance do I need? How can I follow my goals in life? Are there any kind of ways or methods? So we have really time to discuss all these things. So something really I enjoy. It's a little bit a project, a new project for me, but it's great because it's an idea that our students have and ask me to do. That's really, really something that is great in our school. And of course, we want them to be critical thinkers. This is really important for me because I'm a history teacher, and I want them to analyze things. I want them to question things. So, for example, recently we discussed 9/11, and then I wanted the students to develop their own ideas and develop what can be done to find a solution for a crisis, for example. This week we discussed the German election. As you know, on Sunday we have elections in Germany. So I want them to participate. We actually voted in our classroom. So I want them to participate in these things also. Another project I love is in grade 11. We have a Vietnam week. It's about the Vietnam War, and where they learn about what war means, and to really that they can understand what it means. We invite a veteran, a US veteran. He comes every year to our school, and he talks about war. He has been in war, yeah, and this is something they can experience firsthand, and this is of course really, really important. So these are just a few things. I think I could go on and on, but I think that is enough. I hope you can come to our school, and you can of course meet us as teachers, of course, and we can talk about our school, explain everything to you. And yes, we hope that that we can one day teach your children here in our school, that they come to our school. So thank you very much. I hope you have a nice afternoon, and see you soon. Thank you.
How to follow the scientific ways, we gain a foundation for logical thinking.
Each week, the students and the teacher participate in experiments such as elephant toothpaste, exploding a volcano, floating an egg, etc., etc. For example, here we have a model of a cell, an animal cell, and this helps the students learn the structure of cells.
So the good thing about this model is that there's the German translation with the article, which is in red, and it helps the students learn German.
we also have our friend here, Oscar. He helps us learn about the human anatomy, such as the bone structure, the bone names, and so on.
And lastly, there is
A microscope. Now, with this microscope, the students can learn to observe a cell closely, provided by the microscope. Okay, now we are going to hand over the camera to one of the mothers. Her name is Ms. Kanika, and she's going to talk about her experience in the school.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kanika. I'm a parent of the school. I have two children here. One is in grade 6 and the other one is in grade 3. My children, both of them, start this school since they were in Landsberger, so from about 2 years old. So I'm like many years here in the school and see a lot of things until now. And actually, our family really happy with the education and the teacher and everything from the school since they were young. And when their life during the younger age, like during the Landsberger time or nursery time and kindergarten, they really play a lot because our school focus on playing, like learning through playing. So they really like coming home with some art stuff, handicraft or anything with the hands that they made. And then they really had a lot of projects during their kindergarten times. And then sometimes as a parent, we can also join and see how it is. And once they came up to second grade, once they came up to Basisstufe or basics level, they start learning more academically, like start learning alphabet and mathematics, plus minus calculation, and then it's come more and more with the classes they are going to. And then with second grade, we can feel that they really start like the real study that the kids should learn now, really more writing, language, calculation, and like Sakunda or general knowledge that the kids should know. And then it's getting more intense, like by grade 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until now. It's really start coming up every year. And not only the academic part that the school try to provide to our kids, but every teacher also train their character to be self-responsible and self-disciplined for their own study, because nobody can help them until they finish the study. So they learn like day by day, gradually how to do that. Since basic level, they have like we call week plan. The teacher will assign what work, like which page of the book they need to finish in each week, and then the teacher follow, and then the student really know what to be done. And what if not to be done, the teacher will still follow, and then, hey, you have to do this and this. So the quantity of work actually is not much, but it's just to keep them disciplined and know themselves how to survive in their study life. Yeah, that's for the other experience outside the classroom. The school also have like extra activities, like for example, the Christmas party. Every year, recently, like 3-4 years ago, we start Christmas market, but unfortunately, that we currently cannot do anymore because of COVID. The kids can perform not only in Christmas program, but we also have like project week that the kids do some special project during the week, and then at the end of the week, they come up and then perform what they have learned or what they have done. We also have like special week or lunch walker that the kids go out or have the school trip with their classmates to learn life outside the school. And my kids are really happy with the friends and the teacher and the school with everything. And we as parents also are very happy because we don't see any problem. They struggle for their study, but it's just coming along by age. And we, as parents, we have just to support that they go through, and then we have to see what they need. And if we don't understand, we can discuss with the teacher anytime, like what they should be improved more or what we can do for them to support what they need. So that's our experience here. It's very nice and really very satisfied with the school. So if anyone have a question about like my parent life here in the school or how my kids do in the school, can also write in the chat room message or something, and we can also answer that.
Thank you, Kun Kanika, for sharing your experiences. And now we have arrived at our last stop, which is the playground.
We believe that the playground is a great place for the students to socialize and learn to interact with each other respectfully. Now, despite all these playground toys and houses, the teachers will always be monitoring the kids closely. So in case they get injured somehow, the teachers will be within reach of the students. Thank you very much. And now we're going to head over to the Q&A.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm reading the questions which have been written down now on Facebook, and if you want to ask something, you're going to be unmuted by our technical staff. And I start with the first question, which says, do you have any problem to teach the children homework which is in German? And this is for Thai families. Wants to answer that.
Yes, I can take that. Thank you for your question. We have quite a few families here at our school where the parents do not speak German, and that's fully okay. If you wish to learn to speak German, of course, that's fine, but our job is to teach your children. So we offer here at school the so-called homework lessons, which are as well called self-organized learning lessons. And there, the homeroom teacher in primary works together with the students, and there they can finish most or all of the homework during the weekly plan lessons. I hope this answered the question, and we have something similar as well for the secondary level, so you do not have to worry about this topic.
Next question is, how do you teach children in the kindergarten online during the COVID-19 crisis?
So I guess that question is again for me. And we looked very carefully into the setting of online teaching for students as young as kindergarten. It is important that the students already from this age onwards participate in common topics like sitting circles and having social interaction with each other. But as well, it's very important that it's not only online time. So we have parts of the day, selected times, where the children are online in front of the laptop and interact with the teacher and their peers. But we have lots of activities for the students to do in the off-screen time, like different assignments, go around the house and look for something green, do this craft, and then show us via Seesaw how you did it. So there are lots of possibilities already for children as young as 3 years.
Usually the teachers explain how the homework will be done, but if the kids do not understand at home, I also need to help them.
The homework is the child's work, the student's work. So we hope that most of the time the homework is pretty clear, and we have as well classroom homepages where we have the weekly plans in primary on them, so you can see the basic things there. But if there are bigger problems, we really cherish the fact that your child then lets the teacher know, oh, I wasn't sure how to do this homework, because we need to know about that if we need to repeat something. So we are glad if you look that your children are doing their homework or tasks at home they have to do, but you don't have to solve them with them.
Then how does the construction introduced here impact the normal school life? If what you mentioned, I mentioned the sports facilities, etc.
You want to? Okay, there will be an extra construction, of course, but it will be totally divided from our normal school life. There will be a big fence between 6 meters high, so there will not be any disturbance when we have the construction work in our school. It's also with the noisy work will be done in the afternoon after 4 o'clock, so the disturbance will be as less as possible.
Next one is, will there be any discount on tuition fees when registering 2 children? This is easy to answer. No, there won't be any reduction. Then can you elaborate a little bit how a normal school day looks like, time-wise, lunch, afternoon activities, etc.? Maybe you again.
Yep. Maybe from the primary level side, the students arrive at school when we are back to presence learning at 7:30, and then we have a few lessons until we have the morning break, which is then for half an hour to have the snack and just relax, move around a bit. Then we continue with lessons until the lunch break, which is at 12. And there we have enough time for the students to join the RIS canteen here on the campus with lots of varieties for lunch. Then we continue with the lessons, and there it depends a little on the class level if we continue until 1:30, 2:30, or until 4 o'clock. After these lessons, after 1:30 and 2:30, we have different afternoon activities which start immediately after the end of the lesson, and they can go on until latest 4 o'clock.
I think that's okay. Then the next question is, how does the admission process look like? This one I can answer. So you address our marketing department, and they will guide you through all this process, and that's quite easy. It's not difficult at all. They will explain everything to you. What are the school hours?
Okay, Johanna told already, we start at 7:30, and normally school stops in primary at 1:30 or at 2:20. The same is in secondary. We stop at 2:20, but there are elective subjects in the afternoon and also support lessons. And also in the Matura course, of course, in grade 11 and 12, sometimes the students have also lessons until 4:05. That means they are in school from 7:30 until around 4 o'clock.
Can every student pick the pathway by themselves to finish grade 12 to go to university? No, not everybody can go to university after our school. If they succeed in doing the Matura, they can, of course, but not everybody is able to do so. But what I can tell you is that our percentage here, it's bigger than it is in Switzerland. I can say that there's quite a lot of students who succeed with that Matura, but it all depends on the students and its capabilities. And it's not for everyone because it's quite difficult. And to study in Europe is difficult. It's not so easy. How long are teachers on average teaching in your school? Meaning, are the teachers likely to leave after 3 or 4 years back to Germany, Switzerland, like in our international German schools? Some do, some not. We have quite a lot of teachers who are here for a long time. You have seen before Mr. Schumacher. Hendrik, how long are you here now? 11. Mr. Schumacher is here, has been here since 11 years, and Mr. Hoyberger as well. He's here for 6 years now, and with quite a lot of students, teachers doing so. Of course, we have also others. We have, because the first contract usually is for 3 years, and it will be extended then after 3 years for 2 years, and not everybody is doing that. But I'm happy to say that quite a lot would like to remain after the first 3 years. That was the last one in here. Would you please explain the plan with the Abitur?
Well, I can do this. The idea behind is that the Abitur, of course, is from the education level on the same level as the Matura, but the structure is a little bit different because in the Abitur, the students have more choice of subjects. It counts more when we come to the grading. So the idea is to connect these two different systems. And we are still on the way to do this, but we are really look forward because both Swiss and also German authorities, they look really forward realizing this project because it would be great if there would be a school where the students can get either the German Abitur or the Swiss Matura. It's a kind of combination and it's still some fine work which we have to do. We look forward maybe 2 years, it can work.
The Maturabi, it will be called Maturabi, right? Then the next question is are you separating the pupils into levels according to their level?
Maybe I can answer this for secondary. As I mentioned already, we have level groups in mathematics, in German, English, and in sometimes also in biology. And of course also in Thai. And the idea behind is what kind of exams the students will do. Because when they go to the Matura or to the Abitur, then of course they have to join a higher level. When they only have the ability to make the Hauptschulabschluss or the Realschule, then they are in a lower level. And we really try to find out what is the right level for each student. That is also our way of individualization. Sorry.
And in primary school, it's German levels, as you said before. Yes.
Yes, we have in primary, in grades 2 to 6, we have 3 levels for teaching German. And from year 1 onwards as well, we have 2 different English groups, regular and advanced, according to the different language abilities of the students.
The next question is one that I expected much earlier. Might have been mentioned already, but when are you planning to continue teaching physically in school? I would be glad if you knew that. We are planning to start on the 18th of October, but as you all know, probably it won't be the case. And it's difficult to say because the regulations change almost every day. And we will see. We'll try to open as soon as possible, but it might take some time, maybe November. And me personally, I'm already glad if we can open for beginning of January. But I think hopefully it will be earlier, and we're ready to start on the 18th of October if it is possible. At the moment, there's no more questions in here. One more has arrived. What is the average class size? What is the average class size in primary, Hannah?
It depends, of course, a little on the grade level, how many students we have, but I'd say in average it is about 15 to 18 students.
And
in secondary, it's a little bit smaller, around 12 to 15 students. And for example, now in grade 12, our Matura course, we have only 7 students, but that means that, of course, they get really very, very intensive support from the teacher. And this is what also Mr. Vogel said, that of course in our school, the amount of students who really reach the Matura successfully, it's higher than in the average of Switzerland, because there is really a very near contact, very near support, very near work with the students in grade 12, also in the other classes.
Thank you. When is the proper time to apply nursery if the kid is now around 14 months old?
We are glad if we get your application as early as possible so that we can plan and of course reserve a place for your child. So please at least send us an inquiry and then our admissions team will keep in contact with you.
We're waiting for more questions, but let me tell you, if you have some question after that info session today, don't hesitate to contact us. We will answer all of your questions, either the marketing team or me or also our school leadership team. We are ready for that. Maybe we wait 1 more minute if there's some more questions. Right. Are the pupils, are the students on average leaving after 3 to 4 years, or is the majority of pupils staying longer in your school?
Maybe I can answer this question. Of course, when the students start in our school, they will learn German. It's a unique subject here in Thailand that they can learn German. And it doesn't make sense when they leave the school after 3 or 4 years, because it takes more time to learn German fluently. So normally the students stay, when they are from Thailand, they stay at least until grade 6, and then they look if it becomes too difficult for them, because sometimes the expectation is too high. And we have students who came in the nursery and they stay until the Matura, so 14 years of their life or more, they stayed in school. And this is, of course, also the idea. It's not that you come for 3 or 4 years and then you go to another school. Of course, when you are expat, that will be work like this. But when you live here in Bangkok, in Thailand, we expect that you stay, of course, from the beginning until the end. And normally the students do like this.
Then I've got one more. Can you give me the criteria to pick a student to participate in the Matura classes?
There is an examen in grade 10, which is conducted by the German authorities, and they have to pass this examen. And if they fail, they are not allowed to join the Matura course.
Can you share some information on school sport teams and afternoon activities?
Depending on the offer in each semester, we have different afternoon activities, and they come from the range of sports. Soccer is always very well liked, and we have there quite a few teams with a German-speaking soccer instructor as well. Other sports, then we have creative offers. We have German language enhancement offers. We have some musical offers. So it's really a package we try to put together, and sometimes the wishes by the students change as well during the time. So now at the moment, we must say that coding is the thing which is absolutely the most interesting to our students.
How many school hours are dedicated on digital aspects, the subject informatic?
We have media and informatic. So it's media and informatics, computer science. As we have, it's like 2 pillars. On the one side, we have one fixed weekly lesson from year 4 onwards in primary, but the whole subject of digital learning, computers, IT, it's woven into the everyday learning of the students, and this already from kindergarten onwards. So we work sometimes, and it's very important for us, only sometimes, with iPads, selected topics, selected time, already with the small ones, so that they get used to this medium, and then it just continues through the years. And iPads, laptops, interactive beamers, they are just part of the everyday teaching.
And maybe I can add this also in secondary. We have one lesson informatic in grade 7, 8, 11, and 12. But as Johanna mentioned already, it's really a normal part of daily teaching using digital things. So for us, it's very normal that the students work with a laptop, that we use software. It's not specialized. Now we do the digital things. No, it belongs to our daily work.
What does the school expect of Thai students coming from a Thai school? Are there any preparations required?
I'd say this depends, of course, on the age of the student. So if your child is still very young and comes to us like from a Thai kindergarten, we expect to get a happy child to our school who preferably likes to learn, likes to interact with others, and learn to enjoy all of these things with the parents. And the older your child gets, of course, then we do need some basic German and even more advanced German when your child is in the upper or middle primary grades. And there we just have to look at the language level and, of course, of the other academics, then on an individual case basis.
Do you accept children with special needs?
Yes. There as well, it's important to get together before your child joins our school to have a closer look. We do have here 2 special education teachers at our school. One of them is me. So we offer, especially in primary, this service. This can be, of course, this can as well take place in the secondary, but the emphasis is at the moment on the primary years. But there, please let us know your questions via our admissions team and we'll get back to you.
Which digital tools are you applying for the classes?
Well, now for distance learning, maybe I begin with the youngest ones and then Jens Eggert can continue for secondary. So now we are working with the students, especially with the online learning portfolio Seesaw, where the students can, on the one hand, interact with sending us videos and get feedback back, and of course their work, and it's a pretty powerful online portfolio. Then now during distance learning, of course, it's mostly Google Classroom where we connect with the students. And when we are back to presence learning, there is a multitude of learning apps and different sites we work on. And basically in primary, we work technically with the help of iPads and laptops.
And of course, it's the same in secondary. Our communication platform is Google Classroom, Google Drive, Google Meet. We use Mentimeter, Quizlet. There are so many apps which are normally used in during our lesson. So for us, it's not special education and digitalization. It's really our daily work. So I can tell you many, many more. But it's very common for us to use these apps, for example.
If we plan to send our child to continue studying secondary school in Switzerland, would there be any difficulties for the child? Well, I think it all depends on the German level, on the if it's the mother tongue, it's of course it's no problem. If they are Thai and the German level is okay. I think I was a principal of a secondary school in Zurich, and I'd say that's no problem. That should work. And we will, even if their German is not ready yet, it all depends at what time they are starting at school. If they're starting at basis level or if they are starting at 5th grade, so their level won't be good enough yet. But they have also German courses in Switzerland, which will help your child to go on there. So this is always possible. And then, is there any criteria for Thai students to study nursery level?
It's the same criteria as for other nationalities as well. We are just enjoying to get children who like to learn to our school. So if children are as young as 2 years, there really is no criteria except that you have enjoyed family life until then, and you have to trust to give your child to for her or his school life.
Well, thank you for joining us today. We have reached the end. There are no more questions left. As I said before, please contact us, don't hesitate, and we'll answer all your further questions personally or by the marketing department. I wish you a nice afternoon. Is there one more question? Yes, but this the last question. Afterwards, I think we're going to stop. As the school day looks long, are the Hausaufgaben, the homework in general, done, or will there still need to do lots of homework at home?
For primary, the homework is mostly or completely done at school. Of course, this depends a little on your child as well. Some children tell us, oh, they prefer to do this and this at home, but we have the homework lessons at school, so it is very well possible and desired that your child gets home after, the days can get long, and then uses the evening for relaxation and family life.
But I have to mention, of course, for especially in the Matura course, they have a lot of work also after school. They're already 16, 17 years old, and we expect that they work also after school, but they know this, the students.
Okay, thank you. So I wish you all a nice afternoon. And for those in Europe, einen ganz schönen Tag noch. Dort ist ja noch nicht mal 10 Uhr. So, and have all a nice weekend, and hope to see you soon all again, personally, face to face, and not always online. Stay healthy and goodbye.